crafters, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs. I am looking forward to sharing with you my design team project for Country Craft Creations. It's using the collection called What's Brewing, which is by Country Craft Creations. So hop over to their shop and check it out. It's really a beautiful collection, and there's lots of opportunities to do different things with it. So today I'm going to show you how to make a small folio, and it's a folio that is designed to be able to be made in an afternoon or a morning or whatever, and just be able to put some photos in, let's say for a girlfriend, grandparents, parents, that you want to give them just a quick little gift with you can put at least 10 pictures in here and more actually. So I'm not going to talk about the cover yet because I did that a while ago, but I am going to say right now, I am so sorry if you hear dogs barking. We have a kennel, and the reason why the dogs are barking so much is that we also live around a marsh, and the hunters are out, pheasant hunters, and they're hearing the dogs, the people around us. We have a large piece, but they still hear them because they can hunt across the road from us. So I apologize, and hopefully it's late enough that you really don't hear it. So my apologies. But let's get going and let's talk about this folio. First of all, this folio is 5 by 7. And I purposely made it that size again because I wanted to use an 8 by 8 pad, or 6 by 6 pad even could work if you piece some things together. But I have an 8 by 8 pad to start with, and that's what I'm gonna work on. So I'm gonna show you what I am going to do to put this together. So for a folio that is not doesn't have a real wide spine, I usually do the wrap method and not the way that Tamara does it, only because for me, I feel like it's really hard to wrap that spine. So I just want to show you what I did with this. We're not going to have as much on these ends of our papers as we normally do, but that's just because this is was a 12 by 12. So I cut this at 9 by 12, and that it'll fit and it'll come over the edges and there'll be plenty of room. But so what I did is I cut these 5 by 7, 5 by 7. On the other side, I put my score tape on the back, and I'm going to be putting these down. So now, I should probably get my scoreboard out here, because it certainly will help me with placing that. I have some dividers that use when from Country Craft Creations. I'm not going to use them on the sides, I'm just going to use them on the top. Unless, are any of these 1/2 inch? This might be. We got the smaller set too, which is really awesome. It really helps for measurements. I think this is a 1/2 inch. Let me see. I just want to make sure that I get at least a 1/2 of an inch. Or a little bit more. It just will help me be a little bit more sturdy. So I covered the back of those, and then I covered the back of this, and I was going to cut these pieces off. And then I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I should just leave that on there and see if I can use that as kind of like my spacer between my two pieces. I'm not sure I'd do this with a larger one, but I thought that it would help me to do better spacing, but it would also attach to the chipboard pieces. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try that. It's an adventure to try new things. So I'm going to put that down. I think I'm going to do this a different way. again, this is the first time I've ever done this, so please bear with me. You know what? I just realized what's throwing me off is my score tape is a little longer than my spine. That's what's throwing me off. Alrighty. So if we lay this down, this is on here pretty straight. So I think that's good. And then I think what I'm going to do is lay this one down next. The only thing I think we might have a little bit of trouble with is the score tape on the other side. So I've got that down. I've got these pieces all here. And what I'm going to end up doing then, oh, I'll leave that there. What I'm going to do is take the score tape off. Oops, well, that didn't work. I guess we'll see if this works. Oh, goodness. Where is my pokey? There's my pokey. If it doesn't work, it's just fine. It'll still help with some of the spacing because of the spine being so small. So the album covers are 5 by 7. The spine is 1/2 inch by 7. So I'm going to, I just want to make sure I'm keeping this straight. That's my biggest objective. You know what? That's not a good idea to do that. Should be closer to the top. You probably can see in the camera better than I can, whether I'm actually straight or not. All right, so let's put our contraption together here. See, you know what? It's not going to work. Not like that ahead of time. I think I would have had to pull the pieces off first. So I'm going to put that in there. Ugh, look at me trying to do this and I haven't even taken the backing off. I was thinking that, okay, well, I don't have to take the backing off. I can take it off when I turn it over. Oh yeah, there's black cardstock. Ah. I guess my little experiment didn't really work, but you know what? No big deal. We'll live. Helped a little bit. And we'll get this one down as straight as we can. And I am leaving about 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch in between these spines. I had, or the spine and the covers. I had a little bit of an issue with the first one that I put together because I did put the spine a little bit too close to my covers, and so it was a little tougher folding. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to then fold the rest of this down. This is how we're going to cover our book, and it'll be a total coverage using, like I said, one sheet of 12 by 12. I still do booklets like this, but it's not my favorite way of doing them. I just, like I said again, with the spine being so thin, I think it just makes it easier. All right, so I'm going to go around, and you see that I don't really have a whole inch on this side. If that really bothers you, then You know, you can always add more paper or make your cover smaller, whichever works for you. I'm gonna let this go. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's really a bright sunny day here today. I don't know the temp, but I know it's beautiful. And actually, we live kind of in a off the way road, but I'll tell you, there's been more people, not just the hunters, but there's been more people driving down our road today. I mean, like, you know, I'm seeing couples or families, and I'm not sure they're just coming to look at the marsh, or this is our first year in this house, so everything right now is still a first. My daughter moved in December, and I moved in, was it May, at the end of May? Something like that? Or June? I don't know, I don't remember. We love it out here though. It's just so nice. It feels so nice in the wilderness. We have 5.5 acres, and then, like I said, we're surrounded by a marsh. Actually all four sides, because the front of our house is a marsh too, but there's a road. So, so it's nice that, you know, we have the pheasant hunters right now, but other than that, I'll tell you, it's pretty quiet around here, and we have lots of dogs. So the dogs love it because they can run, and it just is just really beautiful. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my my art glitter glue, if it'll come out. I just thought this was such a cute idea for a little book for like girlfriends to give to each other, or, you know, if you went to the coffee shop, or maybe you went on a, you know, a weekend trip, a crafting trip or something, and you had some shots of you guys together, but also a couple in the coffee shop. Just thought it would make a really cute gift, and it wouldn't take a million years to make it. And the other thing is it really only takes a few sheets of pattern paper. I didn't count how many, partly because I used some of the pattern paper for something else that I'm actually going to show you in another video coming up. I haven't put it together yet, but I'd like to show you what I did, and nothing really brand new, but I think it's a cute idea. Like I normally share with everybody, I like to use my art glitter glue for doing things like this. And the reason for that is that I read an article that wet glue holds longer and better than tape. So now you saw that I did do tape on my covers, and that's the only place that I ever do tape, is on the flat of the cover. And the reason for that is because I just think it gives it a really nice smooth look, and I figure that if the sides are holding, that's the most important part. All right, and then we're going to go down here. I just need to put more glue on that than Our glitter glue is so good most of the time that you don't need tons of it for your gluing projects, but so sometimes I don't quite put enough. but I like to let it sit for a little bit, or give it an opportunity to glue without tons of it. So you can see we have a little bit of a space between the spines, and I'm going to just kind of burnish in there. And this is just going to help us once we fold the folio together. Let's see if we can, yeah, that's a much better fold. This is a much better fold than mine was when I first folded it. So allowing yourself that 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch between the two is really a good idea. There we go. So there's our cover for our little folio. What I'm going to do is grab my other one, and we're going to start decorating in that other book. And but I wanted to show you how to put this together, and I'm going to keep this for making another book. So I am going to do a walkthrough on my book, and hopefully it was before this segment. Gosh darn it, now where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Like, I put it away so well, I couldn't remember where it was. So let me just talk to you a little bit about the cover and what I did to put it together. And so if I like to pick out my cover papers before I do anything else. And the reason why is frequently I like it that the cover has the nicest, some of the paper that I like best, or or maybe I want to use. Now, I didn't do anything on the spine yet. I am going to put something down that and probably get one of my blue scraps. And normally on a spine like this, what I do with that is I don't usually double mat them, but I usually make them, like if this is a 1/2 of an inch, I would make my spine piece a 1/2 of an inch also. And the length of it would be 7, but since I'm going to be, since we are matting this, I think I'm going to try 6 7/8 first and see if this piece works for that. 7, yeah, so 6 7/8. Oh, that's exactly the height of that. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to do this one at a 1/2 of an inch. And the reason why I do that is sometimes I feel like the spines get, they feel like they get bigger once they're all, the paper's put on them and everything is done that way. So what I would do is cover this spine like this. And again, the cover, when we start, these are 5 by 7. So I matted it here with the parchment paper from Country Craft Creations, which is kind of a creamy browny beige. And I then inked the sides of it quite a bit all the way around. And that was cut at 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And then I cut the pattern paper for the cover. I used 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and that gave me an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Same thing over here, an inch all the way, or an 1/8 of an inch all the way around, because these are cut exactly the same size. And this, I cut this at 1/2 inch by 6 7/8. Now you can do 6 7/8, you can do 7 inches. I think it'll be fine. My piece was 6 7/8. So I'm just leaving it, even though it actually looks like it on this spine almost looks a little bit shorter, but I'm fine with that. Nobody's going to look at it and be that particular about it, except for maybe you and me. No, I'm learning how to not stress about things and not worry about something's not perfect. I'm really trying that. And in some ways, I sometimes feel like I have to now, when should I worry about this? When's it really a problem? So there we go. We've got our spine and we've got our covers. Now decorating the cover, what I did with that is that I have these blue flowers from, let me just get them. They were from Country Craft Creations, part of my design team package, and they were $49 in Market. They were called Rustic Bouquet Blue Jay. I love 49 in Market flowers. I like them because they have some depth to them, but they also lay fairly flat. On the cover, you can see I use the flowers here. Just, you know, I try to make it look like I have a triangle of design or look. You know, this where my eye would go. So I put a couple enamel dots right here, put enamel dots right here, here. Those are just from my stash that I had. And the thing that I wanted most of all on here was I wanted to be able to open this up and be able to put pictures in here. So this is, I think this is 3 by, where's my notebook again? Let's see. Okay, so this little booklet is 4 by 6, and then it's scored in half. So it's 4 by 3. So 4 by 3 photos can fit in there. The one thing that I have to say is that I did use the cut aparts from the 12 by 12 because I just wanted something just a little bit bigger to make more of a statement on the front of here. But you need to get both anyways, the 8 by 8 and the 12 by 12. There's lots you're going to be able to do with it. So I got those, and then I backed them with the parchment paper and I inked this up here as well. But this is all set for photos in here. And what I did on the back of this one is I ended up popping it up with a piece of chipboard in the back. I just cut a piece of chipboard 3 by 4 and I put it down and then put this on top of it. And then I used some foam dots to raise this up a little bit too. All right, so let's get into the inside of the album. And what I'm going to do, starting out, we are going to have a simple frame to this album, which will makes it so easy. I'm going to start out by putting down pattern paper into the inside. I will say though, I have to say that frequently when I make an album cover, I don't necessarily put the flowers on till the very end. This time I just took a different route because I was trying some things out. So if you are decorating your cover, I'd wait and maybe put those on last, just because it makes it a little bit more even as you are putting things down. So I've chosen these papers, and these papers are 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. That way, you need to cut 2 of those, and just cut and pick the favorite papers. And I then did use ink around the sides to get rid of the white looking core against the black. And you can see also in a second here, or hopefully you can see, that the smaller edge around the cover right here is not going to hurt it. But I am going to line this up I've been paying close attention to making sure it's further away from here, but covering here quite well. So we're going to do that, and then we'll do this side. Again, the cut on this mat is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And then you're going to go around and ink it. Got a little too close to the edge there. Yep, that's better, I think. It's better. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. All right, so then we have the inside covered. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put waterfalls onto our pages. So what I like to do when I do a waterfall is I like to have a base for my waterfall. So I like to put this in such as like a belly band, and that's why I put a full sheet of the paper down. If you don't want to put the full sheet down, you don't have to. You can just put, you know, like a 1-inch piece here and a 1-inch piece there, but I just like the way this is going to look. It looks a little bit more finished when I use the full amount of those. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to lay this down. This is also going to be glued down to here once we get all our flips and flaps on there. I'm putting 5 on here, and I'll go through that and see what we can get. And then you also have a space to tuck something in there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I start with these, and then I'm going to finish it off camera because you don't really need to watch me glue down all 10, and might make me more nervous and I won't do as well. Oh, no. So this piece here, we have a book that's 5 by 7. So what I ended up doing, because I'm going to score on the bottom and the top, I cut this strip to 4 because I wanted a 4-inch photo, and that I would have room on either side of my 5 inches. And then I cut the length of it though at 7 7/8 because I needed a 1/2 inch, but I wanted it also to be slightly smaller than my page. So that 1/8 inch helped me bring this to a little bit better size for my my page. So you'll need to cut 2 of these because you have 2 waterfalls. And the other thing that I don't do with waterfalls is I don't trim or miter the flaps because I want them to sit straight. Sometimes it works out really, really, really good for me that if I start off on my scoreboard and I lay this all down, and I can start off by putting my mat down and I line it up that way. And I'll tell you, sometimes I've had just great success and then other times mediocre success. So see, like that right there didn't line up quite right. The only problem is that really when I'm lining it up, I can't see it as closely. There we go. Oh, now it feels crooked. And some of that you can just adjust as you go. I'm going to tell you, there are ways to make different kinds of waterfalls that may be a little bit more accurate than this, but this is my favorite kind. So then we have a 1/2 inch piece here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to match that up to my 1/2 inch, and I'm going to set that. I think I'm a little uneven on that other one, so let me, Oh, for goodness sake, I'm really off and uneven. Don't know what I did. Doesn't look like I scored unevenly, but it doesn't look good. So I'm taking it off, holding it down. It almost looks like this side is a little bit cut off, but let me check this. You know what? I have an extra one of these. I'm going to pull it. Let's see if this one is any better. I had a couple extra when I cut this. This is laying much more square. All right, we're going to use this one. I'm going to encourage you to do it whatever way works best for you. These are little tips and tricks, and sometimes, like I said, sometimes it works perfectly, other times, I don't know, it's just not a good day. All right, so we'll do one more. I hope you can see it. I'm sure you can't see it as well as you'd like to, but here's my 1/2 inch ending. So I'm going to come into here and I'm going to match this up the best I can. And with my sides of my, and there you can see we're a little bit better here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get these done and cut some of our other paper for that, and then we will finish up with the booklet.